buonasera a tutti. Good evening and welcome to Fate's Grip. We are here. We are live and we are...
Somewhere.
Huh?
We're somewhere.
We're somewhere. We're somewhere, exactly. I am in the fields, or the fjords. We have Sheldon over here who is in a theatre. Welcome.
My curtains, yeah. Hey.
We have, obviously, everyone probably already recognizes the backdrop. So they're in the studio, Amara, and yep. And then we have good old Gunnar. Preston, you're in some sort of ransack home.
My house, yeah.
You walked into somebody's home.
Terrible.
It actually looks a lot nicer out there. I can just say, this is the worst room of the house.
Why choose this one? Because that's
Just
where
my computer is.
fair. That's fair. Everybody, welcome to this stream. It's a bit different this time because we're keeping it safe. Our little area got a bit of a lockdown for 3 days. Thankfully, nothing detrimental has come of that, and we are all healthy. And we are here because, I mean, they think I smell. So that's why they've decided to not be near me. And it's true. I do.
We also like to watch your limbs disappear every now and again into the backdrop.
I
Very
want to
true.
know how to do that. I want my own backdrop.
That's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, it's true. Oh, you mean what I'm doing?
Yeah, I want one.
Oh, everybody, if you don't know already, download Chromacam. Chromacam is a with
It's our sponsor.
it's our sponsor, and you can
No,
have.
it's not. They're not paying us.
No, it's true. It's
They
true.
are not paid. But you can if you're watching.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
So shout-outs. We'll start with some shout-outs and we'll get straight into it. What does everyone have to offer?
Yes, I will start off because I have been on holidays for the YouTube channel, or quote unquote lazy. But the last few episodes have just gone up. Last week's and the weeks prior. So again, please go check them out. Have a look. Tell your friends. Tell your mum, your dad, your dog.
Your cat.
If you got one of those, your axolotl.
Ooh.
Good choice.
Oh.
Love it. Thank you. What else do we have? Let's talk about. Go
Are
on.
you shouting out the next thing?
I can shout out. Well, no. I was offering
Oh.
the floor. Go for it.
No, hey, while they're here, I want to give a big shout out to Aeoncraft. We love Aeoncraft's dice. Michele and I are using them. I already want to commission 1,000,001 sets of them. Also tried to play some games with Aeoncraft the other night. Yeah.
Yes.
And it failed miserably, but watched him play Hunt, and he is way better than us.
Oh, you got to play with them. Nice.
No, we didn't get to play with
No.
him, but we got to watch him play.
Oh, right.
But
We
yeah,
assessed his
awesome
abilities.
dice. Thank you so much again for my gift. I'm not that angry that they only rolled pretty much ones for me last night. I rolled 5 nat ones in a row in a
Getting 'em
one shot
out,
we were
airing 'em
playing.
out.
But that's fine. The second shout out I want to quickly do is to our followers on Twitter. Yesterday I played in a one shot. I played a Drow Wizard Rogue, which was an interesting combination.
What was her name again?
And I asked for suggestions on Twitter for a name because I had no name and we were literally about to play. I had a bunch of amazing suggestions and decided to combine them all together to create Princess Szechuan Cardi Findiddle. And she beat a lich. So
She
that
did
was
beat a
nice.
lich. Her and her companion.
At
Level
level 5.
Level 5, yeah.
But yeah, so thank you to the Twitter for naming Princess
Szechuan.
Szechuan Cardi Findiddle. It was fun.
So good. If everyone hasn't seen already, please enter our giveaway that we have on Twitter at the moment for our 1,000 followers. you will be in the running to win some amazing things that are exclusive to Meeples and Dragons, some good friends of ours, some dice, a dragon baggin, a looking glass, which is a case with a beautiful, work those dice,
That's what they look like.
that's fair enough, and that's what they are. May they roll well for you. But please enter, follow, and retweet that giveaway. We've had some amazing numbers come through, so cross fingers for you.
Speaking of Aeoncraft, really quickly, he actually just gifted a sub to JC Daisy, who is my cousin.
Oh, cute.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I remember JC Daisy.
You're very kind. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. What else we got? Yeah, I've got one more thing. Sorry, before I hand it over. During this evening, if you decide that you like to hear trains and background noises like children that are slamming their heads against cots, that's mine. That's from my place. So enjoy the ambience. Who else would like to go?
We got a dog in the background somewhere.
That'll be me.
Shell dog. I like it.
Yeah, on the other side of this curtain is where Sheldon's sitting.
Yes, amazing. Okay. Anyone else before we start? Fantastic. Okay, well, I'm going to start playing some music, and I'll see if it's a bit too loud. If you can just check chat, just to make sure it isn't that loud, that would be amazing. And we'll get this started. Okay. So.
What are you rolling for?
Well, good luck.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Why aren't you rolling is the question.
18. Oh, geez, very nice. Okay, so let's recap from session 45 into this session, session 46, Dark Spirits. So, Thorum's 5, after watching Fariso and Osei perish, saw some light and some hope, as Malestra, Archmage of House Kenneth, the Mark of Making, struggled, barely breathing and burning out of the lava, her wounds healed by you, her strength quickly coming back to send the servant of the last Fariso, the Dryad, backward into the tree from where she emerged, trapped. You found yourselves in the Moral Hold, in the capital, Krona Peak, and found the common sight of the ghostly figures that haunt all over Corvair and appear and disappear. But this time, possibly for the first, you spoke to them. They spoke to you, namely to Gunnar, to whom they shared a piece of advice before disappearing again, as they always have. The party then rested, passing by the remnants of the entrance to Krona Peak, of a struggle between spiders, dwarves, and drow, and made your rest in one of the abandoned homes there, Rook sighting a band of drow scouts, while all others rested. So, as you woke in the morning, or what you believe the morning Rook, you had a meal, and Malestra did share some rations with you. She actually did bring over fruits, still half rotting, but some good bits she was able to sort of carve out with a small knife and hand to you. You then gathered your things, and before you lie two massive plazas, both square. In the center of the large bridge that separates the top level of both stands that enormous statue that you yourself, Thorum, was seeking. You have the smell of that vegetables and food stuffs that are going off. You hear buzzing as small flies probably are making their way over to feast on the last remaining vestiges of flesh and meats and bodies. And in front of you, beneath the bridge, moving away from the plazas, is another broken double door, seemingly the only clear way through that you've investigated. And Malestra looking to each of you as she says, "Have we all eaten enough? Are we well rested? And shall we continue?"
I just realized I don't think I've been marking off my rations. How many? How many?
That's okay.
How many days have we been gone?
You'll mark off 2 rations, one for the night before and one for this morning, for the purposes of this particular. This and last session was just a day and a night.
I'm just going to be looking between everyone, not really paying too much attention to Malestra. Just waiting for someone else to answer.
I know right now is difficult, but we should press forward.
We were in 2 houses, weren't we?
That's right, you were.
We've conjoined.
Correct.
Did we meet in our house or Amara's house?
Currently, you were met in the middle outside on a balcony that overlooks the level below.
Also, did anyone see? I remember you describing the Drow patrol, but who actually saw that? Because I don't think I remember thinking my character didn't see that. So, who was anyone? Was it you?
Yeah, so I was on watch and so I think it was the 8 Drow go through the pit.
Actually, Rook, they numbered in
20 or so, I think.
20. Yeah, 20 to 25 of them. And they seemed calm, they seemed relaxed, as though they have had a victory of some kind and they knew that they weren't in any danger. They certainly didn't have a cautious stride to them as they walked through.
Confident.
Mm.
Did you share that with us?
Not just yet. Malestra knows from memory because I was either talking to her or with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Malestra, are we going to be heading the way that we saw the Drow before?
That is the path. I hope we do not encounter them. It would be unwise, which is why, if you are all ready, the invisibility spell is prepared.
Wait a minute. What Drow?
On watch, I saw about 20 to 25 Drow going through that pit, just scavenging bits and pieces of the falling, I'm assuming. They don't look on as if they're too alert. Maybe they've become confident here and complacent.
Maybe.
Or there's a lot of them here.
I don't think I've met a Drow before.
They would have noticed the fire that we lit and left behind us.
You guys lit a fire?
Yes, we
Malestra.
cleansed. Malestra did cleanse the battlefield.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Sorry, it just wasn't that
Pretty big.
impressive.
That was prior to them coming.
Thorum can do that next time. Just for the record.
Okay.
I'm
I've done that before.
I'm sure he can.
Mm.
Do you have any other preparations to make?
Well, speaking of being really stealthy, I mean, invisibility is great, but I know I mentioned before, it doesn't always get us through everything, like if we need to attack someone or something like that. So I guess I will cover those bases, fill those holes, and here, I'll cast Pass Without a Trace.
Alright, so everybody gets +10 to your stealth checks. So you should choose, if you so choose to stealthily walk along.
Wait, do we just add a 10 or do we roll a d10?
You roll a d20,
Like
you
in
add
normal?
your normal modifier, and then
Yeah.
you add +10 to that as well.
Oh, dang, I've been rolling a d10, an extra d10 this whole time.
Oh my gosh. The guy with the heavy armor.
Whoops, okay.
Maybe that makes sense then. Wow. So, what do we know about these drow? Are they? Can they see us if they're invisible, or?
I doubt it very much. They have extremely good vision, but what they lack, what we hope they lack, are magical effects to this vision. If they have spell, then we might be undone. We shall have to see.
I
And
guess it's really handy that I made us a little more stealthy then.
Has gotten us out of a jam before.
it has.
They are elves, though, right?
They are.
Are elves really good with magic?
They are. So we must be extra cautious. If we were trying to stealth past dwarves, we would not have a problem. They lack a certain finesse.
Yeah, but they can be really nice.
I did not say otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah, but you implied it with your voice.
Such
Okay.
a sensitive group this morning.
Okay, I'm ready.
Let's try. I think they woke up on the wrong side of their rollout mattress.
I slept on the couch, actually.
Now, even Thorum's a little shook, because you're like throwing shade at these dwarves, and they're standing like in the ruined city. Last episode, we buried 2 of them. Check that out, youtube.com. So yeah, Thorum's gonna stand up and get all his gear ready, tighten the cloak,
Alright.
turn to Alestra, and a little cold, because that's pretty savage on the dwarves. So a little cold, I'm just gonna be like, very well, I'm ready when you are.
I look at Molestra and just make a gesture like, don't worry.
A molester gesture?
A Molestra gesture. There's going to be a lot more harmful things that might be coming towards us. I think worrying about some dead dwarves is further from our minds.
I agree. They have met their fate. Ours is still yet to be written. Or perhaps it already has. Shall we?
Yeah, yours was. Yours was actually rewritten a couple of times by someone that healed you, but I mean, that's fine. It was fate. Let's keep going.
With a bit of a shake of the head, she turns away from you, Amara, and she picks up the last of her bedroll, puts it into her backpack. A little pouch which is still quite burned, but you did notice on the way into this plaza, she did some other little magical effect, and a lot of that burnt out pouch was since repaired. Gunner, you knew fairly well it was a mend spell, a mending. So a fairly simple, mundane repair tool.
I can do that.
Impressive.
I laugh.
As
Um,
go on.
Oh, sorry. As me and Melestra spent time together, I just prepared a couple of arrows.
Alrighty, good to know.
Also, not necessary. I need some stats on the ring.
Ah, yep, good. I'll send them to you in but a moment. Could I ask also what the marching order is, please?
I'm gonna be up with Thulrum.
Okay.
So
I
up front then.
was not planning to go first.
No, wherever. What I meant by up with, I didn't mean up front. I just mean wherever he is in the marching order, I'll be there.
Probably last.
Then I'm
Just 'cause I'm
second
wearing that
last.
heavy armor.
I'm second last.
Okay. So let me just write this down. So Amara is second last. Where are you, Thorin?
Last. If someone else wants to be last, I'm happy to be.
Guy, you're up front.
Yeah,
Yeah,
put the-
actually, I was going to say, I was going to say that I will be keeping pace with Melestra, but like she walks a little bit faster than me, so I'm going to be like running, like not quite running, but like walking really fast, like, and like keep looking up at her to like try and, I don't know. I'm just trying to outpace her basically, but I'm struggling.
Make an athletics check. Rookie, you up front?
I am going to be a little bit further out than just out front.
Mhm.
The number of times I'm going to go ahead and say I imagine the rough distance of Amara's spell from her using it a number of times throughout the campaign, and I'm going to try and stick as close to 30 feet out front to try and scout the best I can.
Okay.
Not a huge advantage, but maybe I might be able to see something before someone else.
No problem at all. So, with Rook scouting on ahead, and the rest of you fairly close together, Gunner having some issue catching up with your roll of...
16.
Yeah, not bad. You do manage to keep up.
18.
Yep.
-2.
Wow. Well, without too much hassle at all, you keep pace with Melestra and even sometimes outpace her, even in her... She does definitely have a hurried but careful look and stride about her. I need everyone to roll me stealth checks, please.
Yeah, Aeon Craft dice. Oh, yes.
Let me know when you've got your roll. Just go from left to right.
Oh. Who's left? Who is the left?
I will go first. I think I'm the leftist.
Are you a leftist?
That is 28. Dang, that pass without a trace really gets you.
Was that a disadvantage?
I don't know, it wasn't. Let me roll that again. Let me roll a second time.
I was gonna
Have
say.
you ever rolled disadvantage?
Oh, it's the exact same. 28. It's the exact same roll again. 14 both times.
Jeez. That's ridiculous. What else? Go Gunner.
23.
Okay. Rook,
Can Amara go first?
go for it.
33.
38.
38? Jeez. How did you only get 23 with Pass Without a Trace? Did you roll a 1?
No, I rolled 12.
Still high. So
Fair enough.
I have a +1 to stealth. I'm a wizard. I'm a wizard. I'm not a sneaky boy.
Just give me a quick moment.
out of interest, does this terrain count as mountain?
Interesting.
It doesn't. It doesn't, unfortunately, no. It's not on top of a mountain.
We're top of a mountain in a mountain?
Shut up.
In a mountain on top of the mountain.
Just doing something very quickly before we continue. And okay. And one more, and that's going to be
What was Malestra's stealth roll?
did you cast the Pass Without a Trace on her as well?
Yes.
You did. 26.
It's not a 33.
It's not a 38.
Okay. I've just Rook. I've just sent you each spell that you can cast with this ring, and next to each spell is the gemstone that it is
Beautiful.
associated with. And it is a one use only. So, you all very, very quietly being able to see each other, which is quite unusual in with such a spell. You watch as you slowly creep over and avoid varying bodies and obstacles that might otherwise make quite a bit of a noise and an echo, but you avoid that plank of wood that's part of this broken down caravan. You deftly step around a couple of rocks that would have caused a bit of a crunch, and you tiptoe ever quietly around all of these and make your way downstairs into these sand pits, and move in a line, Rook far in front, ahead to the next room. Now, as you all start to move, you notice that down here and beyond, the light dims more and more, and it becomes so dark as you move from this area to the next that all you can really make out are these small blue torches again that are in the ceiling and on the side of the walls, wrapped in web. And I need Rook, can you roll me a perception check, please?
That's a nat 20 there, Dad.
Okay.
I like that addition of dad to the end.
21 if you want.
I was like, did I hear him right?
So, everyone else, you don't see Rook as he moves into the next room quite quickly. Again, silently and very almost methodically. It's as though he knew the steps he was taking before he took them. And he disappears around a corner. Rook, you have to climb over, which you do very quickly, rocks and rubble that surround this huge doorway, and you see the splinters of timber that made up this second hall, or the entrance to this second hall in front of you. And as you walk in, the first thing you do is you hear and smell and see all these things at once. The first thing is you smell like rotting pig and cattle and chickens and farm, like a really acrid, overwhelming farm smell. And you look ahead and you see within 60 feet in front of you that this large hallway looks to be the remnants of another sort of merchant area where they likely sold animals. And you see that a lot of these animals, however, in these enormous pens made of wood that have pillars sticking out from the middle, holding up the cavern above, with this hall is again a vast one that leads about 200 feet in the distance to another entranceway, this time just an open arch, no door at all, and then once more to the right, another huge staircase leading to another hall this way as well, to the right, into a thin, tall opening, similar to the place behind you. And everywhere around you, you hear the buzzing of flies, this huge drone of hundreds and hundreds, and you see that you have to avoid rats scurrying past you, large, full of food rats that scurry around and are gnawing on skin of these and feathers of these animals and they're just trying to scavenge anything that's left. And then you hear a voice. And this voice is odd, it's deep. And it's speaking, what languages do you know? Again?
Abyssal, Common, Draconic, and Infernal. Info.
You don't understand the tune and the voice, but he's deep and he's singing a song. One voice echoing through the hall, only really able to be heard once you entered the doorway, which is odd to you because it should have really echoed past it. Deep and loud and sad.
Is there any... I can't understand, so there's nothing I can decipher. Would I, with the knowledge that I know that it should be reverberating further back, would I understand if this is a spell or something, a concentration spell?
Make an Arcana check.
12.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. You do know of spells that throw your voice. You've been actually privy to and in the same room as people who have used ventriloquism as a magical effect. So there's a possibility.
At that point there, I kind of take a couple of steps backwards and raise my hand up in warning. Not obvious, but slow, and turn to see if I can see my companions.
Yeah, you all have now at this point, once you just see Rook's hand start to rise, you all are climbing over the same rocky rubble into this other room, and you all start to hear the same voice, and you do see Rook slowly hold his hand up to gesture to stop.
And
Can any of us understand it?
What languages do you know? Who knows Dwarven? Nope. Even Malestro sort of turns around and gives you this look of... What are you doing?
Apparently, we're becoming famous. If you check the Twitch comments,
Oh my god.
the few people that want us to become.
Thank you so much, bots. I really got to fix it up.
I slowly make my approach back to the group, and turn to talk softly, loud enough so everyone can hear. Path ahead seems to be littered with the bodies of what may have been a farmer's market here. I haven't seen anything that's concerning outside of a song that I can hear, but I cannot pick where this person is, and I cannot understand the language that they're speaking. It's quite odd because it doesn't seem to have a path back here. Have any of you heard this chime?
Can I hear that song?
You can hear it. And
Does the tune sound familiar?
make anyone who wants to make a religion check. Thorum's like, I'm going to get on that.
I'm definitely going to get on that. I spent a lot of time with dwarves. Oh,
That's a 3.
Wait, so
And that
you
was not an ale
spend a lot
craft.
of time with dwarves, but you don't speak dwarven?
Are you asking them in game?
No, I'm just sassing him. I rolled a nat 1.
Oh, no.
Normally, I can try and boost that with my psi die, but I'm not gonna. Well, I am gonna, but I'm not gonna.
Okay.
with a +5 to religion, that is a 22.
A 22. Yeah, Thorum, it's definitely a hymn of
Not a her.
haha of typically to the dwarven god Kol Koran. And Kol Koran is a god of trade and wealth. That is one of the more major gods in Eberron that dwarves revere. And it speaks to loss, battle, hopelessness, death. You don't remember the words, but you reckon you've heard the tune before, as though you've heard a choir hum it during a dwarven procession at one point or another.
I'm going to convey that to the rest of the party. Taking particular kind of to explain that it's a sad song. So yeah, it's probably someone mourning.
Then you feel as if it's safe to travel down this hallway. It's quite long, 200, about, so what my eye can tell in the dark, about 200 feet long.
Oh no, it's spooky as hell if it's just one person singing that song in this abandoned city. It's probably not safe to go down there. That's why Molestra should go first.
Where else can we go?
Do we not have invisibility on?
We should proceed, but I think it's eerie. I don't think we should chase after whoever's singing this song.
I think you're right. I think we should probably avoid as much danger as humanly possible. The 12 are really squishy. We wouldn't want to get another one killed.
That'll be 3. That'll be 3 now.
Yeah.
We
If,
didn't get them killed. We killed them.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right, Gunnar. Because they all turned out to be evil, right?
If you have anything you want to say, Amara, do not hide it
I'm not hiding anything.
behind your shadows.
I've made it very clear, Molestra, how I feel about the 12 currently.
Then why not leave me in the lava to die? What is your goal?
I did not heal you.
And the reason was because we don't do crappy evil stuff because we're not the 12.
Your,
We're 5. We do good stuff.
your intentions are not as clear as you may think to us.
Wow.
Shall we confront this singer?
It goes both ways. The intentions of the 12 are not insanely clear to us either, because you're supposed to be doing all of this good, and yet here two of you are doing all of this evil.
I
I don't know if anyone notices, but as I hear this quite frustrating arguments in a time where we're supposed to be concentrating on something, I actually just continue going forward. I'm not going too far out, about 30 feet, but I'm still checking out.
Okay.
Or maybe
I know. I noticed that, and I'll say,
Do you
I
notice
notice that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll say, all right, noticing that it's probably not the time for it, I'll say,
I'm
don't
gonna
worry, there'll be,
standing off with Molestra.
yeah, say, don't worry, there'll be lots of time for us to discuss the crimes of the 12. And I'm gonna quietly move after Rook.
She just gives you a look, Thorum, and moves ahead as well. Rook,
Where does
as
she move into?
she moves ahead towards Rook, and as she does, she sort of peers around a large pillar, and you see this as well, Rook and Thorum, as you are peering into this darkness. You noticed this central pillar, much, much larger, more so towards the center of this plaza, that surrounding it, there looked like what appeared at one point to be about 5 stalls, massive stalls, but now has since been just completely destroyed. Just these bits of timber and metal that made up these shops everywhere around this pillar. And you notice that also surrounding this pillar are barrels, some of them open, some of them shut, and that's when you first get this small hint of like an alcoholic like smell in the air that overrides this animal carcasses, and the buzzing starts to dissipate slightly as you look in and you see that this particular area is actually completely devoid of any wildlife, or dead wildlife that is, and instead there seems to be, probably between the pillar and about 15 to 20 feet away, small runes in the ground outside of the pillar. You can't make out what those runes are from your vantage point, but you do see them, and you see that slowly circling the pillar is a single dwarf with one tankard in one hand, one tankard in another, and just taking sips while singing.
My God.
Ah. I'm going to point him out. I'm going to point him out to everyone else and go, I think we found a lonely singer. He seems to be, well, I can't tell. There are runes on the ground, and he seems to be moving in a circle around the perimeter of those runes, as though he can't cross them. But he might be able to cross them. He might just be drunk.
Thorum, at closer inspection, once you notice this for about 6 seconds, he is moving between the runes, but he's avoiding stepping into them.
Okay. I said, so yeah, he can move around the runes, but he's just not stepping on them. Should we confront him, or should we sneak past?
If he's in mourning, out here alone, and there's been 20-man strong scouting party of a drow that headed in this direction, it's feasible that this man's been here for only a short period of time. But my suggestion is not to draw more attention to ourselves if he is drunk.
You make a good point. He might not be discreet.
We're also invisible.
So, DM question: people can hear you when you're invisible.
You're speaking softly, but yes.
Yeah.
No, I just mean you look. I know you probably look confused right now. I can feel it in your silence. If you start talking to someone who can't see you, you probably frighten him.
Hmm.
Just more to your point, you probably won't be discreet.
I look back, Amara, making a face of any suggestions.
You see nothing because I'm invisible.
No. You can see each other.
I'm joking. I think you guys are making the smart decision. However, I can't help but be concerned about someone in mourning. Loss is not easy.
What is he doing specifically? Just walking between rooms?
He's walking around the pillar, and he's just having two large wooden tankards in his hands. You can see he's actually wearing a very, very neat black what do you call it? Mind blank. Like a vest, like a beautiful velvet vest of just pure black. The pants, though, even though they're black as well, they're a bit dirtier. But the vest is very clean. It's sort of reflective in the night, and you can see that he has this black beard that seems to be tied in two long braids, and his hair is slicked back into a ponytail, a black ponytail, and he's got this moustache that goes back as well. He's fairly, tied up, yeah.
Does he have a weapon on him?
No, doesn't look like it does.
Is
How
he
far
heading?
away?
Oh, sorry.
No, you're right. How far away is he?
From here, probably another 50 feet away.
Is he heading towards a room currently, or no?
He's just circling slowly, just staggering. You can see this sad, forlorn face on him.
Guys, what if I shadow jump closer to try and get a better look, and then I can shadow jump away if I have to?
Was that a question to
Yeah.
the group?
That was
or...
group.
No, there's no danger. Perhaps you should speak in his mind as well, rather than
He's
out
just
loud.
about to do that, actually.
Oh, don't speak in his mind first. Let me try and get a better look. Maybe if I can see something, we can figure out whether this person is important or not.
I can. Okay.
Yeah. It's DM question. It's dim enough for me to be able to shadow jump in this light.
Oh yeah. Anywhere.
Just be aware that if I shadow jump, guys, this stealth effect is going to be off you for a short amount of time until you get closer towards me. So maybe just stay where you are until I come back.
Can I remind you that our job here isn't to check in?
I'm not
with
checking
dwarves.
in, Rook.
It's to go and complete the task that's been handed to us.
Yeah, and this person could have information for us.
We are supposed to be saving the dwarves. He is a dwarf.
He could have the Red Death.
One singular dwarf.
Oh yeah.
And you're just one singular human.
I am.
But we value your life.
We talked about this back in the house. We can't be stopping for everybody that we come across here.
Okay, well, I'll see you guys in a second. I'm just going to shadow jump away.
Okay.
I'm going to shadow jump. I still want to be like 5-10 feet away from this guy. Whether that be closer to my friends or further away. In kind of the stealthiest looking place I can be. To just kind of inspect what he's doing currently,
Okay.
like specifically.
Sure. Make a perception check and a stealth check. A new stealth check for me.
28 for stealth. Perception wasn't as good. Perception was a 12.
Okay. Just 2 seconds.
I heard a dice.
So as you just disappear, everyone, you will see Amara just no longer there, as not even a wisp of smoke remains where she stood, and Amara, you appear a pillar away from the scene, much closer to this. Thank you very much. Much closer to the scene, and you can see and you can already smell the very enormous alcohol content in these barrels. It just feels like your nostrils are burning from whatever's in these barrels. It is strong, and it's nothing that you've ever smelled before in terms of alcohol. I mean, you've been to many bars, but this is something different, and it's a deep cherry. It's a deep cherry flavor smell that erupts in your nostrils, and it's pleasant, but it is overwhelming. And as you watch, you can see him just stop for a moment, clamber over another rune, and looking down, you can see these runes are in fact names, dwarven names, and above each name there's a single word: remember. And beneath that word are names in the dozens that have been carved into a ground of polished stone. These enormous flat rocks that surround this small market, or this plaza in its entirety. You didn't notice before because of the dirtiness that surrounds it with the stables and the pens, but this area once looked beautiful. It would have gleamed brilliant gemstone colors all around before darkness and web took its place. And as you watch, you can see him just look down at a particular rune and give a bit of a nod, continue singing, and you get the sense that he's simply repeating the same song over and over. There's just one verse to it, or 1.5 verses or so, and then he's repeating it again. And he's just nodding and acknowledging these runes that have been carved, taking another big dip into a barrel, an open-lidded barrel, if he's emptied one of his tankards. And by the time you've finished observing him, he's had about 3 tankardfuls, but he does not seem to stop.
Yeah, okay. Does he look like he has any markings on his body that look like anything similar to the Red Death at all that we've seen, or the beginnings of?
His skin and his visage, his skin is a dark brown, similar to Malestra's, and it is flawless. There's not a scar, nor birthmark, nor scratch. It is in fact, it's as though this dwarf has never seen battle in his life.
Selfishly, I'm going to take a moment to look down at the names and just kind of survey how many there are there. Look at this guy for a bit. Look at the symbols. And then I'll shadow jump back.
Okay, you count about 35 names. And you shadow jump back. And everyone, you all see Amara reappear after a couple of minutes.
So what's going on?
Yeah, he's mourning. There's no gentle way to say this. It's really fucked down there. There's these symbols on the ground, and there are just names. Names of all of these dwarves, and he's just singing this song and drinking something that smells like acid, but cherry flavored acid. It doesn't smell good, and he's drinking a lot of it. It's pretty awful. I think he's in a lot of pain.
Some form of. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, it's okay. I was just going to say, maybe we could help him.
Could you make out anything about the runes that are down there?
Did I recognize the runes?
They're very nondescript. They were a circle. All started with a circle on the outside. Underneath each circle there was a 9. There was carved into the rock a coin, and it was a common coin in Corvair, but this particular coin had 9 sides to it, which is unusual. You don't really recognize that.
Oh, here you go.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not great with runes or symbols. That's not really my jam. So one of you guys might understand a little bit better. They were all circular. There was 4 of them. But something that looked similar to a coin, but it had like 9 sides. I've never really seen that before.
Where was
Silver.
it?
Pardon?
Where was it?
Nine-sided coin.
You could probably go and have a look if you wanted to. I don't think he's gonna catch you. He's pretty drunk.
Have I ever heard of a 9-sided coin before?
I'll use that religion check as the success. As you recall, it is the official symbol of Kol Koran.
Ah, okay. It's the official symbol of his god. He's like the 3-headed dragon for Ado. But for him, it's a 9-sided coin.
So, Malestra, Thurum, how long do you think it would take for someone to set up a ritual like that, or ward?
Days,
Ooh.
if not
Days?
weeks.
We shouldn't interact with this person.
Why?
The drow definitely came through here. They know he's here.
And they're not messing with him. How would, to what Gunnar said earlier about helping him, I turn to Gunnar and we say, how would you help him?
Friend?
Like
I
this
think... Wait, what'd you say? Did you say friend?
Yeah.
Like be a friend?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he is mourning a great loss. And if he wants to be friends with us, that means coming down into the pit. Perhaps we should help him, but on our way out. If we really want to help him, we should knock him out and hide him somewhere until we can retrieve him.
I get the sense he doesn't care much for his life.
How much do I know about dwarves?
What do you want to know specifically?
You can ask me. I know a lot about dwarves.
Any particular piece of information you want to know, and I can get you to roll history?
I'm just thinking of the right way to word my question. Do I know much about their I don't know how to word this. Just generally their culture. Do they culturally have a specific way they would mourn somebody, or they just rough and tumble do whatever suits?
Like last rites, or remembering someone, like humans would with crypts and with graves and such.
Well, yeah. So, like, in the same way that, you know, different cultures might mourn, you know, in a way that's like overly dedicated to the mourning process, or others that, you know,
Sure.
close it off and
Sure. Okay, roll a history.
that might be a better way of, I don't know if that was. I'm gonna use my side talent die because that was. Give me a sec.
While you're rolling, I'm gonna shout out Sticks and Stones who subscribed to us.
Thank you.
So thank you, Sticks and Stones.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Third
Sticks and
month
Stones.
subscribing to us.
Oh, that's really sweet. Thank you very, very much. That's very supportive.
What was it? History?
Yep.
12.
Okay. Dwarves honor their dead with processions through the city in which they were born. They then take the body of the fallen to their home, and you don't really recall what they do at the home. It is something involving their family and providing gifts of some kind, but you're not quite sure of that detail. And then after that, they do take them to essentially it is a marked grave, but they don't really pay it any heed. What dwarves prefer to do are to keep the bodies hidden so that they're not desecrated, and then they remember them by putting a rune or something similar on a wall near where they used to work or near where they used to live, and with their name and anything about them that they want to share. And the council helps retrieve that information from the family, and the family get together and decide what they'd like on that rune. And so their name is forever embedded into the halls of their life, so people remember them that way.
Okay. Did you see any dead down there?
Bodies?
Yeah.
Did I?
Dead bodies? No.
No.
Oh, well, no dead bodies around that area. No, only the animals a bit further away that are just buzzing with flies.
I didn't see any dwarves or drow or humans. I mean, there are the animals, but I think everyone can both see and smell them.
Yeah. Well, what do we want to do then? Do we want to help this man? I don't know if we should knock him out.
I can do that if we need to.
No, I don't think we should.
For someone who had such big words before Malestra, you're awfully quiet.
I feel my opinion will be taken down. You want my opinion now? Do you think I am worthy?
I mean, no, but you could answer my question.
What can we do for this man that he hasn't already done for himself?
I say we make sure he is alright and then move on.
I'm gonna message him if he's in within range.
He is.
I'm kind of shaking my head.
What would you
I'll
like to
just
say?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
You can reply to this message.
The response comes in the form of an outward whisper throughout this plaza. Not just in your head, but everyone suddenly hears a silence pass through. And then this whisper as he says, in common, listen to the plight. And then he starts to sing in common this song. And it reads, away, away, Valena falls, the battle sway and may gain victory or loss for all, a spear, a sword at bay. The trees depart, they all cut down for fire, for wood, and for work. Industry moves more and more, Corvair. Many dead, their spirits free, to Moradin they flee, devoid of work and full of peace, a sacrifice foresee. What do they fight for? Land, titles, gold. Should they not flee for their families? Where are they now? Alive? Dead? But I cannot tell. If you want to approach, I can help.
Let me give Gunner a little push. Go on.
Did he say that out loud?
I'll slowly walk over.
As a whisper, he sang and he spoke, and it echoed through the silence.
I'll walk over to him
Okay.
slowly, not like trying to sneak, but definitely not rushing.
Sure. As you are the only person moving currently, you slowly make your way over to him, and you stop outside of this circular perimeter where the runes start. And he's looking directly at you and following your movement to a T, as he says. An old trick. Yes.
Can I roll insight on him from saying that he can help?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
What's your name? I'm Gunner.
Hello, Gunnar. I am Locke. It is a shame that you have to be here to see us in our plight.
That's why we're here, actually.
A damned shame. I understand that you want to keep yourselves hidden. I understand, for it is my shame that I did not save them. And people are now scared to come here. He just stops.
Is there no one else?
Some they do not want anything of me. They do not want my help.
What help? What do they need?
Food. Medicine. To be free. She grants me no audience.
We've come to cure the Red Death.
What did you roll, Amara?
18.
18. Okay. You can see his demeanor lightens slightly, and his shoulders from a sagging point start to rise, and he seems a bit more upright as he takes another tankard and starts to sip, a bit more curious sips rather than just whole, huge mouthfuls. How?
Well, not me exactly, my friend.
Another hidden one. How many friends did you bring to die here? How many?
We have one of the 12. The other one died.
You bring one of them with you. Where?
Oh, they're just over there.
No. No. Where is ours? Where is the Archimage from House Kandarak?
Who's that again?
Why is he not here? House Kandarak is a dwarven male by the name of Duke Roninont.
Do we hear him ask this?
Yep.
Well, I turn to Molestra and say, yeah, where is he?
He is finding help. He is somewhere in the Mirror Holds currently. He is delegating with the Iron Council and trying to bargain with them to come and save their brethren. And you can tell the first sort of few words she said were more in a hiss. And then she sort of spoke a bit more calmly. As though... Go on.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
As though it was a bit... As though she thought you were accusing.
I'm going to say, okay. That makes perfect sense. You should go tell that guy.
She gives you a bit of a nod and strides forward. And you instantly see that she's become uninvisible now. As she moves towards this dwarf and nods her head slightly, and she says, I am Malestra of House Kenneth. Greetings, noble dwarf. My lady, why do you not bring good news? Why is it ill? Why does your brethren bargain and stall? We are in need, my lady. In great need. The dwarves should be coming. They should be saving. I know not what the delay holds, but I assure you, good sir, that he will bring the others to help, to fight off this incursion. I swear it. The 12 are here, and we will save you.
I don't laugh like that. I will, however, shadow jump back over to these guys where I popped up before.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cross-armed and watching on.
Okay.
I'm assuming this conversation is echoing throughout this
Yep.
mass.
Sure is.
Before I make a move, can I make a perception check? I'm not really concentrating on the conversation down below, just kind of looking over the horizon, see if anything's going on, any movements.
Oh, okay. Yep, make up another perception, then yep, go for it.
14.
Looking over and into the shadows, apart from the swarms of rats that are avoiding you but are still feasting, there's no movement at all beyond.
I'm going to head up towards the group.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to keep about 30 feet away. From Amara.
Mm-hmm.
I guess in any direction doesn't really matter. And just kind of stealthily again, even though I know I'm invisible, just skulking around.
Okay. As you do that, this dwarf rolls his gaze over from Malestra to you, Rook. Another friend. Another compatriot. It is good to meet you, and I wish nothing but health and long life, but I cannot wish that here. Your grand quest to save the dwarves from the Red Death. Noble, very noble, but futile.
Can I walk up to this barrel
Mm-hmm.
that he's drinking out of?
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to, dip my pinky finger in it.
Yep.
Give it a sniff again. And then just kind of go,
Just take a look.
yeah.
Okay. Can you make me a Constitution saving throw, please?
No. No, I can't. I don't have any dice.
I think we know that's a lie, Craft.
Oh, it's so dark in here right now. One moment, please. That is it's an 11.
Okay. So as you take this lick of dark cherry liquid, your tongue just starts to burn. And you can tell that this feeling, this tickling feeling, encompasses your jaw, your mouth, your cheeks start to go rosy red, and At the moment, you are... Yeah, you are incapacitated as the
Wait.
effect.
Wait, hold on. Is this poison?
No,
Is it disease?
no.
I'm incapacitated. What?
As
Oh,
you
grab some more.
you all immediately watch Amara just start to sway side to side and simply drop onto the ground on her ass and just hold her hands out and look around. And Amara, what you see is a vision of waviness around you, and you feel instantly dizzy, and you're just unsure as to where you are for a moment, and then you realize, yeah, you're with your companions. You don't know where they are, but everything looks... And then you suddenly see beautiful sparkles in the air, and you feel warm and you feel comforted by it. And you all see her as though one would be extremely drunk.
I'm gonna walk on over to her. I'm just gonna like wave my hand in front of her face. She respond.
Make a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage, please, Amara, as you just suddenly have this thing in your face that you just want to get away from, and you're trying to balance yourself.
Oh, what if there was a nat 20? The one time I bet you I roll that tonight. The disadvantage is a 14.
In total?
Yeah.
You do manage to find what is the ground, which you thought for a moment was up in the air, but you do manage on the ground to just stay solid on solid earth, and you do feel solid, and you are relieved. You don't know what was in front of you. You're a bit alarmed. While this
Can
dwarf...
I see Fulham anywhere?
Yeah, he's a blur. He's a blur. He could be in one of about 5 places right now.
I'm just gonna be like, Fulham, wherever you are.
Now that's what you say, but what you hear, Thorum, is...
Can I?
Okay. Message received. I'm gonna reach down and touch Amara on the shoulder and use lesser restoration. So I touch a creature and end either one disease or one condition afflicting it.
Okay.
It's instantaneous.
Okay, and as you do that, this dwarf looks down and gives you a bit of a shake of the head. That was unwise. You should have asked me. It's very strong. The strongest Rawhold has to offer. That is all that would get me some sort of relief. A numbness, if you will. And Amara, instantly you feel yourself righted. The nauseous feeling dissipates in an instant. You no longer feel dizzy, and you're no longer incapacitated, as Thorum's magic heals you of that effect.
Don't do that, anyone. That was bad. Also, though, Thulrum, you should do that. I feel like you'd be like. I kind of feel like you'd vibe that a little bit.
Yeah. I am gonna fill up a water skin with this stuff.
Okay.
I'm
Right it in.
gonna look at this dwarf and just say, how are you still standing while drinking this?
Just before you do that, Thorum... Oh, that was me.
I'll be very careful not to get any on my hands.
That's cool. You do that successfully, as just write in a water skin of dark cherry liqueur.
Okay.
I've built up an immunity. I was introduced at a very young age to this, and It just seems to be a tickle now on the brow, a small sweat, but otherwise I am not easily affected like a first drinker. Please. I said I would help, and I will. I want to. Over there. And he points with this large, slightly dark-haired hand, but still, you just notice again that it's a beautiful dark hand, untouched by any sort of mason ware work. It's not a work weathered hand either, but it's muscular. And he points towards the darkness behind a pillar, and he says, I sent the others away, but I did bring one here. There is a city down beneath us. I think with their help, if they choose to impart it, you might find your answer. Where the city is. How to get to it. I perhaps was waiting in forlorn hope that someone like yourselves would turn up. I have not initiated conversation with him yet. He is quite restrained, but not speaking.
How are you not afflicted by the Red Death?
I was simply not touched by it. As part of my failings, when I saw this affliction start, I hid. I was a coward. And now I don't know what to do.
How does Rook look at this point?
Very unhappy. I turn to, I guess, Joy, if I notice you looking over. I come up a bit closer to you and say, have I made the same observations that this dwarf is looking quite clean and...
Yep.
How do you suppose this dwarf has spent so much time here and been untouched by everything else you see around you?
He said he hid.
And he mourns for those that are dead around him. That
Yeah.
he didn't attempt to help.
He admitted to being a coward. Yes, that's exactly what he just said.
And what's to say he's not gonna do us wrong as well?
I believe he's honest.
We need to leave.
But do we not need to cure the Red Death? Is this not part of this?
We need to continue with what we're trying to do. This man's poor decisions aren't ours.
Yeah, but this quest that we're on is not up to us either. We were thrown into this.
Something that we chose to do.
Something that we were convinced to do.
If we tarry and continue to take this course, the less likely we're going to be able to complete this mission.
It's not just about missions, Rook.
You're right.
It's
It's about
people.
saving these people. People. Ones who have fought and are trying to heal.
Yeah, but
Not ones who hid and now get drunk and lock themselves in.
yeah, but he knows where the others are. I understood that, right? Did he say he knows where others are?
You had the sense that he has perhaps a prisoner, someone that he has restrained behind one of the pillars a little way off, and perhaps they know.
Can I speak up while they're having a conversation to the dwarf?
Mm-hmm.
You said him. Who are you talking about?
The drow. I sent the others away. They were coming too close. I hid again. Old failings. But I captured one. I wanted something to make amends. He takes a large sip of the drink again.
Where is he?
He just points that same muscular arm short towards behind the pillar behind him.
I'm gonna walk over.
Okay. As you make your way over there, you then start to hear the sounds of like a muffled breathing. And as you walk around the pillar large, it takes you a couple of seconds, but you do. And as you peer around, you see what looks to be a bound, arms bound, legs bound with old rope, but there's a lot of it all around his legs. His shoes have been taken off, bare feet, dark brown, dark purple skin, white toenails, tall if he wasn't sitting, long legs, and you can see that it's a thin drow, regal in his capture. This top knot of hair that rises above his head of black, and you can see this enormous scar around his forehead from the top down towards his chin. Yes, Amara.
I'm sorry, Voikivan just left a message and redeemed something in the chat. The message says, guys, I know that you're far apart from each other now, so I got you something that should help you feel like you're in the same room. And he redeemed, do a little dance. So we must all dance.
Do the shimmy, and see. Thank you very much. That was amazing. Let's clip that at some point.
Yeah.
Thank you
Please
so
don't
much,
clip that.
Voikiban. How you doing? Good to see you. This dark skin with this white mask over the mouth, tight, and he's wearing what looks to be this dirty off-white looking tunic with many small holes that small daggers, throwing daggers, have been put into. They're still in there as well. They haven't left his person. You can see as well this large saber that's a little ways off from him, and a scabbard where this would be kept. And he looks up at you with these dark orbs of eyes, and he gives you a bit of a sneer with this small pointed nose.
Can I see the others from here?
Mm-hmm.
What are they doing?
Can you
Me
see?
and Rook are having a
What are you
weird
doing, guys?
conversation.
I guess after the conversation, depending on the time, obviously, he's probably looking at me and Amara or whispers for one another.
Oh, I'm not whispering.
Well, then me talking underneath my breath.
Mm-hmm.
At which point, depending, I've vetoed the conversation. I've gone back on patrol.
Okay.
After I filled up that water skin, I would have moved over to where Amara and Rook is standing. I would have been real slow about it though if they're arguing. I would probably just rock up right as he vetoed it and headed off.
Thorm, what are you going to do with that?
I'm going to wait until we're not in a dangerous place. I'm going to drink a small portion of it and see what happens.
Okay, well, if you need a buddy to keep you grounded, I'll be there.
I think I might need that.
Okay, sounds good. Hey, where did Gunner go?
I think he's still talking to that dwarf over there. We
Rook
describe him
doesn't-
as drunk, but I don't think this is alcohol. Let's sniff the water skin.
Rook doesn't want us to help. He wants us to keep going.
I think we should help him, but on the way out.
What if this dwarf actually has information that could help us in there, though? Should we not find out first?
I think perhaps it'll be a bit much if we all speak to him. Gunner's talking to him right now. Do you have anything? Do you? I have nothing to ask him. He's
Can I see Gunner?
He's gone around the pillar. You see the back of him.
I see the back of him. Okay, I'm gonna talk at his head, and I'm just gonna be like, Gunner, what are you doing?
I'm not going to reply straight away.
Mhm.
So I would like to gently. I'm going to put my hand on the side of his face, like this. What does he do?
He just watches the hand as he just goes.
Gently, I'm just going to stroke it like this. And then I'm going to hold his face. And then I'm going to use Mind Spike. Mind Slither on him.
Okay.
So he has to make an intelligence saving throw.
Just bear with me for a second. That one. It's a natural 18.
So he resists it.
Bastard.
That felt good. Do it
Is that
again.
Is that in my head?
Yes.
All right, I will.
I'll let you this time. Now I know what you're doing.
Sure.
He sort of puts his head back, awaiting.
So he doesn't resist. I just roll.
Yeah.
So that's gosh, 10 psychic damage. And
Okay.
he now has on his next saving throw, he has to subtract a d4,
Mm-hmm.
and immediately I will cast Suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say out loud. I'll say it in his head. I suggest you and I become best friends.
And the spell DC of the charm.
17.
Okay, he rolled
Is-
it. He rolled a 22 on that one. He's actually going to save that.
Hungry still.
There was a wisdom save.
Yes.
Okay.
He responds with, yes. No, I don't think I'll let you do that, and we are not friends. But it tickled. Tickled a little bit. So, little one, whom are you? And he pushes his head, and he is going to he's also going to cast Suggestion.
Oh no.
Can you make a wisdom saving throw, please?
Mage off.
Wisdom?
Mm-hmm.
20.
Okay. You shake off immediately, knowing the magic well. You know its ins and outs very intricately, and you manage to push past his powerful casting ability. And he says, you are more powerful than it lets on. So, at an impasse then. I've been at an impasse with this piece of shit dwarf for some time now. How do you think you're going to do any better?
What do you want?
I don't want to be here, so let me go.
That's not what I asked. I said, what do you want, not what do you want.
Oh, many things. I want to be the main consort. I want to be
The very best.
No one ever was.
I want to be hers and hers alone, but if you know not about this, our culture, then I would suggest that you keep your little mouth shut.
I'm still talking in his head. Haven't said anything out loud yet. And I will reply, I haven't said anything yet.
What is it you want then, you and your little insect friends?
Insect.
Nothing. Just.
No, I'm not gonna tell you.
Oh, okay. Well.
And I walk away.
Okay. He's sort of, you see him at the last struggle a little bit in his binds before your gaze averts, and you start to walk back towards your friends.
Where was he struggling? Was it his,
All of it. His whole body shook to try and get out of the rope
okay.
for a moment.
I'm gonna just walk around the other side of the pillar and just be like,
What? Did you call out to me? Oh, right. One moment, please, everybody. I will be right back, and I'm gonna shadow jump over to you.
I think I'm only like 10 feet away.
What?
I think I'm only like 10 feet away.
Yeah, I still do it for finesse.
For fun. I'm gonna speak in your head only because he's very close. There's a drow just there, and he's strong.
Like strong how? I say that in your head, obviously.
He's psionically strong. He resisted my abilities.
Oh, you tried to cast something on him.
Twice.
Do you want me to punch him?
Well, I think we could use him, but maybe we should give him some of that stuff that guy was
Oh no, don't do that. That he will not be any help if we give him that. He will start to hallucinate.
He may be easier to affect.
Could everyone please check their posture?
That's good. Thank you very much.
I think we should try and question him first. And if we have to, give him that. And the only reason I say that is because when I drank that stuff, I didn't even know where I was. I couldn't see anything. Just colors and, sounds.
Well, I mean, if it doesn't work, Fulram can just fix him, right? But if he can speak in our minds, then...
I mean, Fulram can fix it, but we're about to go and potentially fight a lot of people. I know that Thulrum, he runs out of energy quite quickly.
Yeah, he doesn't have much stamina.
Let
Definitely
me
go the full
let me
9
talk
yards.
to this drow. Let me talk to him. Should I speak to him face to face or in his head?
I would hold that back for now. He seemed very interested in me when he knew I could speak in his head.
Maybe I just won't talk to him at all, and I'll go up and I don't know. I'll just try and look really tough.
Okay, I'm gonna go get the others.
Hey, you should come with me, and you can be like good cop, and I'll be bad cop.
I think I'm just gonna tell the others first. You go watch him and I'll be back.
Okay. I'm gonna like walk up and just look at him. Do I
Alright.
see his knives?
Okay, you do. Yep, they're very out in the open. They're on his stomach, or just above the belt that makes up his long flowing robe, which is tied up. It does look like he's wearing an off-white robe as well. And excuse me, and as you walk over, he sort of turns slowly, watches you come along. Such a pretty one, Kalashka. I haven't tasted your kind in so long. But to just get a bite.
Is this out loud or in my head?
Out loud. Everyone hears that as he continues.
That's a really okay. Hi, I'm Amara. That's usually not how you start a conversation.
Yes, but such conversations are so trivial down here. It's just too cold to waste any time with small talk. Here's what I'll do. I know why you're here. You want to know where you can find the Mother Matron? Is that right? Am I partially there, Kalashkar? You
Look.
want entrance to our city.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even want to be here. Nor do I really care about this Mother Matron that you care so much about. But unfortunately, someone I care about a lot's been killed on the way here, so I kind of feel like I should see this through. Also, I'm gonna have to take those knives off you, I think. They look pretty cool.
They certainly are useful. Go ahead then.
Doesn't seem like a good idea. Yeah, alright, I'm gonna try and take a knife.
Okay. As you...
I'm not gonna be subtle about it, I'm just gonna be like, okay, well, time to take the knife.
You go ahead and you go, and as you put your hand or reach your hand for one, this drow lets out this sharp sound, and all of a sudden the knife you were going towards lifts and levitates out and then swivels, and as you grab it, you don't grab the hilt, you grab the blade instinctively, and it then shoots through your hand.
Do I see that?
Ow.
And with that, he laughs. Thorum, you notice this, and he laughs.
I hit him with the sacred flame. Just
Okay. Go for it.
That's just an attack roll.
Yeah.
I roll advantage.
Advantage. Yeah. He's restrained. He's definitely rolling advantage on that.
So that is a 26 to hit. It's a natural 19.
Okay, that hits. Roll for your damage.
That's just 9 damage. That's a cantrip.
9 points. Okay. As
Do
you
I take damage, by the way?
Yes, you do. You will
No.
take. You'll
Oh,
take. Oh,
not
you
nice.
shivers. You're going to take 10 points of slashing damage as this knife just slices straight through you and embeds itself into your hand and sticks out the other side as you see this light red blood. And your hands just instinctively start shaking as this flame comes beside you and radiates around you, but onto this creature, this drow, and he hisses. He turns towards you, Thorum, the owner of such a spell, and he says, "You really are not making it easy for me to spell out where you are heading. I would advise very harsh caution to the wind, or else you'll kill me before I even mention where your quarry lies."
Okay. Here's the thing. I don't like you very much. And I'm gonna grab my staff and just boom straight down on his head. And I'm gonna try and stunning strike him if I hit him.
Okay, go for it.
Am I rolling like normal to hit?
With advantage, he's restrained.
Yeah.
And tell me what his DC is and what kind of save that is. Constitution, yeah?
It's only an 18 to hit.
That hits. That hits.
Hell yeah. Could you make a Constitution saving throw DC 15?
He rolled a 16 in total.
Anyway, I'm gonna hit him anyway.
Smack!
I should roll damage for that.
Please do. What was the damage for yours, Thorum? 9?
Mine? No, 9. 9
9.
points of damage.
That's 6 points of damage. And I'm gonna say, look, I should have hit you in a different spot in your head then, and you should be stunned right now. I guess it didn't work. But you should tell us everything you know so we don't kill you.
Yeah, I'm going to walk over and say, I think you're confused. I was trying to kill you earlier. That was not intended to be non-lethal.
Alright. Can
What did
you...
hit him with?
Just sacred flame.
A sacred flame and a staff. Can I get one of you to roll intimidation with advantage, or both of you to roll your own straight intimidation? Whatever you prefer.
What do you want to do?
What's your plus modifier?
I
What I should actually ask is, who
think
in
you should.
history
do
has
it.
been more intimidating?
I think in history you've been more intimidating. I think you should do it.
Okay, if you say so.
Why don't you both roll?
Because I get to do it at advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a 12.
Total.
My
Okay.
modifier is +0.
Alright.
Oh, okay, man.
He turns to you and back to Thorum for a moment, and he says, "When I tell you where she is, the source of all of your pain, anger, and disease, how delightful. When I tell you, and when you go down there, and when you meet her, just know that she will make a meal out of you that will just entice all of her kind. she especially enjoys dragon flesh. Such delicacy. And with that, we're going to take a 10-minute break, as that intimidation didn't seem to affect this drow at all.
What do you mean? I'm super intimidated. Young girl that punch things? Yeah.
We're going to take a 10-minute break. It is 8:40. I'll make it 8:42, so 8:52 we'll be back here and go live to continue the second half of this lovely conversation. We'll see everybody in 10. Go.
We have to announce a word
Yes.
for a certain giveaway. Because
Absolutely.
it ends next week. This is your last code word.
Last chance to get your hands on this amazing gift. The code word is, well, I wanted it to be 2, but it'll just be drow.
Drow.
How now, drow cow?
Pretty much. So drow is your extra code word for an extra entry.
We should have made banana.
Pardon?
We should have made it banana.
That was a beautiful thing, John. Thank you so much.
Preston, you should look at the chat.
Yeah.
So
It's not loading.
with that extra code word for that extra entry, which you are more than welcome to tweet as a reply to the main feed, the Twitter feed to the giveaway, we will go on our 10-minute break. It's going to be 8:53 now. So 8:53 we'll be back here. See you all in 10 minutes.
No.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back.
I love Kylie.
So, oh, wow. So,
What a thing to come back to.
no, not cultured at all, Thorum. But we got Kylie Minogue fans out there. If so, type in 1. If you don't like Kylie Minogue, don't type anything. Just don't type anything. It's fine.
If you don't like Kylie Minogue, type 2. If you don't know who she is because she's just an Australian singer, type 3.
Remember, this is an Australian broadcast
She's famous in
by APG.
UK, like more than here.
Actually, yeah, UK, she's pretty big. That's fair.
That's because of Neighbours. That's an even worse show.
Because of Neighbours? No, it's because she's lyrically an amazing singer.
I'm spinning around.
Wow.
Move out of my way.
What about
Woo!
Chocolate?
It's a good film clip.
Hey, this drow.
This guy. Okay, so let's bring it back in.
Who's pointing?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows who he's pointing to?
I was just agreeing to you, Sheldon. So,
Oh, no.
going back in. The scene is
Our
set.
name's Kylie.
The dwarf is
now.
the dwarf has resumed drinking pretty heavily and has gone back to his own forlorn sighs and looking on. He doesn't really pay too much attention.
We're just wailing on this drow.
You feel shuffling under your feet as very brave large rats crawl right beside you. Their thick fur just brushes up, and the slow rumble of hundreds of them in hordes go back and forth between meals, between corpses, and you watch as this drow looks towards one of these rats and licks his lips a little bit. I could really use something to eat. Won't you care and just give me a nibble of one of those rats? If I can't have dragonborn meat, I will have anything.
I'm going to speak in his mind. And I'm going to say, listen, enough fucking around. You're going to tell us what we need to know, where your mother is, and if you're lucky, we won't kill you. Or, if you're even luckier, we won't feed you to these rats.
Go ahead and make another persuasion or intimidation, whichever you prefer.
I give the assist on that intimidation again if I'm being menacing. Like,
What are you doing to be menacing?
just scowling at him.
It was a natural 20.
Another one.
Don't worry about it.
So a second
Thank
one.
you, Aeoncraft.
Right. At this point, you notice that he sort of shifts slightly in his seat. I am feeling a little bit inclined towards helping you, only because I want to see the looks in your eyes before you are eaten. So, is that what's going to happen? I'm simply going to tell you about where to find my fair city.
Well, no. You're also going to tell us how to beat you all.
How dark is it?
It's dark. Apart from the knowing telltale signs of the blue lights that surround the room, There are probably only about 50 of them. Otherwise, it's very dark indeed.
Can I step forward again? He did mention again eating us, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And I will use my thought form.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll transform into that, and I'm gonna I'm gonna walk towards him as I do it. So I will be casting quite a fairly bright light within a 10-foot radius. Does he recoil from that light?
He does. You notice that this bright light now shines, and you can see this overarching, just dim brightness around you beyond the 10 feet, and rats and cockroaches and ants, they all scurry away into their respective darkness, away from this, and you can notice that just nothing nothing living anyway is within this light now, but it does shine, and he sort of just subtly, but his eyes sort of go like this a little bit,
And
uncomfortable.
I'll speak to him out loud. Have you ever eaten light?
I cannot say it's been part of my diet. Can you please turn that off? Why the change of voice, little one?
I think he is going to tell us what we need now.
I take a step back.
So, what's your name?
I am House Captain Mizkik.
And what color is your house?
We know not of colors. We simply are a tribe that associates ourselves with the Mother Matron.
And what are your weaknesses? Otherwise, we'll just continuously, like, I could try stabbing you. Thorum could try and light you on fire again. I'm sure Gunnar could do something with your mind. And Rook, if he cares to join us at any point. Well, you don't want to meet Rook. He's scary.
As you can probably tell, we're quite adverse to bright light.
Fantastic. We'll light you all on fire.
Perhaps you want to eat then.
If it is about this light that you are offering, I will kindly decline. What I will do, if you would shut that off, is offer directions.
Why give us directions when you can take us there? Get us in undetected?
Much better, yes. Such a great idea, Kalashtar. Allow me...
It's Amara.
Amara. Yes, a magnificent suggestion. I will lead you there, then they will surround you easily. I will be free, and I will share in the dinner.
Wow, he kind of sounds like he wants to be eaten by a rat. Don't you think, Thorum?
Pull my mace out.
Can I see Rook?
Rook, what are you doing at this point?
I'm still kind of patrolling around.
Are you trying to hide while you do it, or just... Are you trying to be stealthy?
Yeah.
Okay, make
No.
another stealth check. And that's without the 8 plus 10, because you're a bit away from Amara. And Amara, you make a perception, please.
Ooh.
Rook, what did you roll?
32.
I rolled a 22.
Okay. Amara, you don't see where Rook is, no.
I like patrolling. If you're wondering what I'm doing, is it alright to make another perception roll?
Yeah? For what are you looking for?
Just again, if anything in the area has changed.
Yep, cool.
Ducking back and forth, which is horrible. It's not going to matter. 5. And just checking on the dwarf as well, if he's been doing anything differently over the period of time that's been spent.
The dwarf has not. He's simply been going back around the... I should be closer. Back around the pillar, and not changing his motion, looking every now and again back towards the party, not looking at you though. He seemed to have lost his sight, but you don't see anything else apart from that.
Okay.
What are you doing, Gunnar?
How badly do you want me to turn this off?
It's just simply not that comfortable. Please?
Gunnar, you should make it brighter.
Actually can't. It's as bright as it goes. Maybe I will. Can I roll a deception?
Sure. And also, you'll watch as Thorum takes out this very bright gold jewel emblazoned mace. And Thorum, you hear in your mind Dorabaliux again hissing, and he says, "You are close. You're close, Thorum. So very close to taste blood on me. Kill her and save them. Save them, and your task is done. And I will be sated."
I'm going to kneel down next to the drow. If I can, I'm just going to force one of his eyes open. Just give the old two finger like that.
As I'm leaning in. Just so you know, I rolled a 23 on deception.
Okay.
Hell
Sure.
yeah.
No worries. Good to know. As Thorum kneels down and forcefully opens this drow's eyes, or eye, wide open.
How does he react when I do that?
He's actually not reacting at all. He seems to be allowing it because his face is turned away a little bit from the light, it seems.
I'm going to ask him to say, this mother of yours, she spawned the Red Death, didn't she?
It was her greatest ever experiment. Yes, she spawned it. Doesn't that just make her so special?
I'm going to grab his head and turn it towards the the light, still holding one eye open.
Oh,
And what manner of creature is she?
she is like us, a drow, but she is more. You will not leave her presence. Ah.
I pop the other eye.
Yep. You pop both
I'm
of them
gonna-
open.
Hold his own. Do I still have the knife?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hold his own knife to his throat while Thorum's doing this.
Okay.
Where is she?
Really thuggish.
You wanted an answer. I could have given it to you without this.
But this is fun.
I can see how it would be. She is in the city. Tel Nakel.
Where in the city?
Oh, she can be everywhere and nowhere. She doesn't stop moving. Many other drow wants to be her. They conspire, they steal, they kill. The politics in that place would set your blood aflame. Yeah. And he sort of, his neck retreats a little bit as Amara's knife goes to his throat. His eyes are still open with the light. He seems to be more uncomfortable with the light than anything else so far still, even while forcefully having his eyes wrought open, as he still sort of looks towards you, Gunnar, without looking. He sort of spies you.
I'm gonna let him go.
And immediately his eyes close and turn away.
I'll remove the knife. Pocket it.
She has an entourage with her, loyal allies like myself, who wish to see her stay in her position. And so for that reason, she does not stop. She does not drink. She has no need. If she takes a drink, others drink first, in case they are poisoned.
What are their names?
Whose names?
The ones that follow her around. Her closest.
You think we know them?
I think you have an idea.
We know them simply as her daughters.
Can I insight check that?
Sure, go for it.
Oh wait, no, that's better than I thought. 21.
21. Okay. Give me just a moment. Just be a quick second here. Yeah, he seems to be telling the truth. He doesn't seem to be really knowing too much about, or at least his face shows that he doesn't know too much about her closest allies.
He's telling the truth.
So will I lead you there? Will I simply tell you and you leave me here? What is it that you will do? I am growing tired of this light, and I wish for it to end.
What do you guys think? Bring him with us or kill him and make him rat meat?
How badly do you want it to end?
If I could have had this not occur at all, it would have been a blessing.
enough to let me in.
You seem to be wily, you light Verdun.
Oh, so you do recognize me then?
The magic tells all, and she will look past your illusions as well.
This is no illusion.
End
This
it.
is who I am.
End it then. Show me really what you can do. And now he's looking directly into the light, and you can see that his eyebrows are shaking. His whole face just is just tense, but he's looking directly in defiance in your direction.
What are the other three doing?
I'm excited.
You're
I'm
excited.
standing there like,
I took another step back when you said "let me in."
No. I will cast. I will cast Phantasmal Killer
Okay.
at 4th level.
And what's a saving throw first?
Hmm?
That is a natural 6, and that modifier will not cut it.
So I want to flavor it a little bit, because normally I would try and find something that they're terrified of, and that's what I'm just going to dive straight into the depths of his mind and try and find something that he is terrified of.
Okay. As your glowing presence gets closer and closer to his face, he's sort of shying away more and more. You can now start to see small beads of sweat on his face, not from heat, but just from almost an unknowing fear. And you can see him shy away, but you get closer, and then you go within all of a sudden. And you flow past this great female with a pink and white and transparent dress made of almost wisps of spirit that walks past him and gives him a bit of a nod between glowing pathways of fungus and herbs and other drow and leaves that illuminate this entire cavern. And you watch as he sobs in front of her, and she is being stabbed over and over again by a line of betrayers, and he does nothing but weep. His hands are untied. He looks up and tries to strike one of the betrayers, but they just easily, like a fly would be swatted, pushes him aside. He falls onto the ground, and this horrifying and beautiful woman all in one, this deep black skin, black as night, with white orbs for eyes, these light pink lips, is still alive and keeps living, but suffers pain upon pain. And you hear a sound coming from his lips as he sobs. Matron, Matron. And you fly back out.
In that instant, then I will transform my visage in his eyes. No one else can see this. Into that matron with, you said knives or
Knives.
knives? Yeah, knives all over my body, blood coming out everywhere. But she has fury on her face, absolute unbridled fury in her eyes, and she will scream at him, "You failed. You did not save me." And she'll reach forward and grasp him by the throat. So he is frightened, and he will take 4d10 psychic damage. If you need to mitigate that, I'll let you work that bit out.
Cool. Do your damage.
This is a concentration spell. It lasts for a minute. And at the end of each of its turns, every 6 seconds, he will continue to take damage.
Oh.
So 4.
He dead.
So the first round, he takes 19 psychic damage.
Okay.
I'm not rolling very well. 5.
Not
12.
rolling very well, but just every 6 seconds. It's no
12
big deal.
psychic damage.
Another 12 psychic damage.
And she's just going to be wailing at him, screaming, "Relent, relent."
You can see that his whole body now is shaking, and he's just staring towards. You guys see that he's staring towards Gunnar in this golden glowing form, but he seems to be looking past it at something else. You're not quite sure what, and he's just still and shaking. And I'm sorry. You did not let me. You did not let me help. You're greedy. What? Why?
Gunnar, don't kill him.
18 psychic damage.
Yep.
How's he looking?
Looking hurt, but not dead. You can see that. You can now start to see that there's dark red blood flowing from his nostrils and his ears. You can see that his mouth now starts to have a small bit of blood as well as he coughs, as he still starts shaking. You can see a splatter of blood onto the ground.
I will speak to him as myself. You can end this. It's your choice.
How?
And 20 psychic damage.
Okay. You can now see just his mouth is full of blood, and he's continually overflowing it. He's just almost choking on it as the blood spurts out of his nostrils again. His eyes now start to bleed as well, and he has these bloodshot irises. And he's looking on, and he's just trying to choke through that pain with, how do I end it? Make it stop. Please don't die.
I'm glancing around the group now.
Gunnar, don't kill him. Don't kill him.
I'm gonna kneel down again and ask, how do we access this city of yours? Is there a secret way in?
Through the choking and the spluttering, and Thorum, you do get some drow blood on your cloak. as this just sprays everywhere and on your mace as well. And he explains, you go straight through the doors here. This leads you to a spiraled merchant square platform leading down. The mines appear. Tracks leading like a maze through tunnels only fit for a fat, juicy dwarf. The mine shaft down the corridor of emeralds leads towards us. But watch out. The traps seen and unseen will weaken you until your very strength is sapped, and you will appear before our queen, ready and willing to serve.
22 psychic damage.
He's looking extremely hurt.
I'll relent. I'll lower my concentration.
To Mara and say, I think what happens to him is up to you.
Well, I mean, we just found out how to get there.
You could still become our friend. We can free you from this pain.
A quick death, then. Is that what you have planned?
No. If I wanted you dead, you would be.
Well, now, ball of light, hear this. You free me, I will avoid the trap set. I will go down and warn my mother matron of your imminent arrival. And then she will prepare a welcome. Go on then, free me.
I think we just leave him here to starve.
I will free you, but not from the binds that you ask. I'm gonna cast suggestion one more time.
Okay.
Please fucking work.
That was a nat one.
I'm going to say, you will betray your mistress. You will be our friend. And when I say those words, my voice sounds a little bit echoey. Like, it's not just a normal sentence, it's a spell. You'll know it's a spell.
He stops for a moment and looks up at the light, again squinting, this dried, matted blood all over his face. I suppose that it would not be prudent to leave here dead. Friends, then. I always knew we were. And I think it is wise to see that the only way that this can happen, this can end, is with her downfall. Wouldn't you agree?
It is inevitable.
He's really smart.
I'll drop my thought form or return back to my verdant form.
Finally, we meet. What is your name, that I may call you friend?
My name is Char.
Short and sweet on the lips. A pleasure, Cha.
I am still a child, though.
I understand. Well, if any friend of Char's is a friend of mine, but I am in need of help. If I am to stand and lead you on, I may need some healing.
I think he will do what we say now. But it won't last forever.
Gunnar, in your head, I'm going to say maybe we should ask him about the vision you saw of the crypt.
What? Can you refresh my memory? I don't remember.
Wow.
Which one?
Last session.
Yeah, help me remember. I clearly don't remember it.
I'll let the DM.
Well, let me know if this is what you mean, Amara. There was a vision that was had regarding Osei.
Yeah.
Well, of three women that you saw, Gunnar, in a forest on the edge of a beach that led down into a crypt, which had. Mm-hmm.
That was actually real. That wasn't a vision. That was real. I saw that. But I don't think he would know. It was maybe.
Wasn't it dark like it is here?
It wasn't that far below the ground. It was in a crypt, not.
But it could be nearby.
Hmm?
It could be nearby, we don't know.
I will use encode thoughts and pull a strand out and share the memory with him. This will be the easiest way to show him. What is your name? You might want
And he
give him some healing.
takes, just with a shaky hand, takes the strand of memory and holds it up against him. And you take a moment while he discuss it. That he thinks about it, just that he concentrates on it for a moment. He then opens his eyes and shakes his head slightly. I don't know about this. I'm sorry. I hope I haven't failed you.
I'm gonna lean over and cast Cure Wounds on him.
I am Valsa, by the way.
Valsa. And if you had to spell that in common, how would you spell that?
Valser.
It's like that common food, salsa. with a B and an ER.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure it's nothing like seltzer.
Actually not, but good try.
The pronunciation.
Let's play again sometime.
I'm just sounding it out for some people who forget how to pronounce things.
What'd you get, Thor?
14 HP.
14?
HP.
I think pretty much everyone else wouldn't say it like salsa either, though, because anyway,
So
it's just our accent.
Thorum's magic. Thorum's magic emanates throughout, and you can see that the blood has now staunched and is now no longer bleeding profusely from any orifice. Although he still seems very weak, he seems to be able to shuffle around a little bit more rather than just be dazed.
I'm going to lift him to his feet.
Make a strength check that's almost dead weight.
Womp. That's that one. I guess.
But isn't that your best stat?
But the roll of the dice, it'll take you about 10 minutes to try again if you wanted to, but you try and lift him and it's just a very awkward dead weight. It's almost as if he's resisting. It shouldn't be this difficult, but he's probably lots of muscle underneath that robe.
I give up and just nudge him with the side of my foot. Get up.
As you can see, friend, I am still tied. I don't know what you expect of me, but I cannot on my own.
I'll pull out his knife that I stole, and I'll cut his binds, and then I'll put his knife back in his belt.
Okay.
And then I'll be like, actually, no, I'm keeping this and take it back,
Okay.
just in case.
Give him his sword.
He's got 3 of them.
No, his sword on the ground over there.
All right. Can't you like magic it there?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll pick up his sword.
Fine, Thorum will get it.
I go get his sword.
The saber is beautifully lightweight, and it's made of a very bright silver, almost white silver, at the metal. An extremely well-balanced weapon, one-handed and slightly curved, and the hilt is a simple hilt of gold. No outward-looking gems or anything that would encrust it. Just a short, like a round hilt on round pommel. That's a bit fairly intricately wart, but otherwise nondescript. And you hand it back to him, and he sort of holds it weakly. Let me walk for a bit. I might regain my strength.
I'm going to point him in the direction of Rook. Where is Rook?
At this point, Rook, while this conversation has been happening, you have decided to go into your backpack, take out the scroll that Osei had on her person, and open it. This draconic prophecy. And as you open this scroll, you see a familiar white light as the symbols that surround this parchment glow brighter and brighter in draconic text, and your mind overtakes you as you seem to be pulled into this story, and your gaze lies over hills and mountains as you watch bodies from the sky falling into ocean, onto a desecrated earth, and you see Osei running desperately towards Thorum, and Thorum turns, and at the last this vision, you see her push him aside as she gets skewered by an enormous blade from the Lord of Blades. And as she screams in pain, Thulram turns and puts his hand onto the saber, this long weapon that this Lord of Blades is wielding, and the blade simply melts away. And with his other hand, Thulram places onto the wound, and the wound heals instantly. You then notice that Osei leaps up over the shoulder of Thulram, and with two large daggers smashes them into the shoulder blades of this Warforged, who just skitters and yells. And beyond him, you notice Warforged in the thousands, and you look behind you and you see this army of dwarves and elves and other races come together with dragons above, spewing forth magic and fire and acid and all manner of different elements towards this encroaching army. And then from within this crack in the earth that's right in the center of this battlefield, you see rising out quarry, these shifting worm-like things, and behind them you see this enormous beast of leathery wings and whiskers. But as it emerges, as Fraser Blue comes out of this place, you see that he is being encumbered down by what appears to be these blue ghosts that are stabbing him and attacking him from all sides, and your vision comes back to darkness into the Moral Holds again.
I guess I obviously would have been doing all this as these guys were having their conversation originally.
That happened in an instant. You look over and they've just finished the last sentence of that conversation you just heard. You've only been gone a moment.
I packed the scroll away. I'm assuming, I'm not too sure. I was kind of hiding in plain sight the whole time.
You still weren't very well seen. No one really saw you.
Are you looking for me, or have you said something, Thulram?
I'm just kind of looking for you. I can't see. When I can't see you, I'll probably call out quietly.
Let's turn around. Are you all done now then?
Yes, it's time to leave. We have some baggage, and I push the drow ahead of us.
Yes, I overheard. Malestra?
You think us savages. This interrogation was not what the Archmages would do. It is inhumane, whomever you question. Let us be off.
I would tend to agree with Malestra on this.
Yeah, we're terrible.
However, we found out a lot of information that the 12 didn't know, so...
Are we not going to continue to talk to our dwarf friend here and tell us where this colony is? Or are we going to forget about that?
Oh, well... Don't you just want to go and get the mission done, Rook?
Well, everyone would be safer if we did.
He's told us the way, and I think we have to head towards the spiral staircase. I think he said.
We're going to head straight through the doors, and then we're going to head towards a spiral platform and go down and down and down through into the mines, through all of the tunnels. We're going to go down this emerald corridor, and we have to watch out because there's traps there. And then after that, we're going to meet the matron who's apparently going to eat us all. So...
Yes, we've discovered the way.
That sounds pretty accurate. That's a
What do I
10 out of
know
10.
then?
10 out of 10 for description. Well done. I think you're muted.
I was talking. I was wondering why no one was replying to me. I'm going to talk to the drow very quickly. Val, sir.
Yes, Cha.
How long will it take us to get there?
2 days.
2 days. 2.
That's correct, friend.
There's no quicker way.
No, that is the way that we found in. That is the door the dwarves left open. That is how we nabbed one and then gave him our gift. And then let him loose.
I can't control him for that long. We've only got about 8 hours.
Molestra, can you do something more useful and maybe teleport us there?
Teleport you where?
Somewhere into the mines where the Emerald Cave is. I mean, I don't want to say anything, but Farizo could do it.
Some of us have skills, but some of us have others. He could not do that firestorm I offered.
He was a
He could
dragon.
turn into it. He could turn into a dragon, though.
That was afterward. His archmage skills did not have that extra betrayal gift from Tiamat.
Are you okay? Do you need a drink maybe?
I am wary of the travel. That is all.
Do you know what? This is something you and Rook have in common. Maybe Barclays wasn't the right fit for you.
She ignores that and turns towards the dwarf, and she says, "Will you quit your whining, dwarf, and tell us, is this true?"
Could everyone please hydrate?
Oh, hydrate. Yes, sorry. Yes, thank you very much.
I have nothing to hydrate with. I'm all out.
Your tears.
You can just say, hydrate. Sorry. So, the
You take
dwarf...
40-10 seconds.
That's fair. The dwarf looks over and says, "Sounds right. Please save the dwarves. Save us. And I may not feel as weary. I can rebuild here. I can rebuild all of this."
Hey, can you teleport?
I only know up to the mines, but I can. I can.
Get us
Yes.
to the Emerald Cave?
I can get you to the entrance. Will that be of help, of use?
Yes.
Hey, Velsa, how much time does that shave off?
A few hours. The city itself is only so far, but the mines that they have dug go on for an age. A curious lot, these dwarves, to find their way to us.
Well, I guess that'll have to do, right? A few hours is better than none. What do you think, Rook? I'll tell you all about the Mother Matron on the way.
Fine.
Anyone else want to do anything beforehand?
While we're walking, I won't drag this out, but basically I just want to just continue to converse with this drow, and my goal is to try and sort of just pick at the thread of his devotion, I guess, to this matron, and just sort of find a thread and try and keep pulling on it, you know, and my goal is to unravel that, but obviously bit by bit over this next however long. I'm going to try and keep track of time. I know that it's hard because we're underground.
Yeah, you can make a make a survival check now, in fact.
Yeah. Hey, not bad. Hey, not bad. 16.
16, yeah. To your best idea, having a feel of the wind for a moment and remembering how long you've traveled, the rest that you had, you imagine it's probably about lunchtime at the moment.
I'm only tracking it for the purposes of knowing how long left this spell will last.
I appreciate it.
So yeah, that's all I'm doing, and just trying to get closer to him, and I guess leaning on the fact that he trusts me now, as a friend. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So.
Do you want me to roll anything for that?
No. That's fine.
Okay.
Not for now, but I'll remember that. So, with that, the dwarf looks over and he says, I wish you all a safe passage. Don't drink the liqueur, Dragonborn. It will not be very kind to you. Take it little by little. And may the blessing of Kol Koran guide you. And with that, he holds his hand up, and a bright golden light envelops it as you all blink all at once, and you find yourselves on solid ground with a small amount of water in very small puddles around you. Looking around the room that you are in, it's a much, much smaller room, a small bedroom in fact, where around you there seems to be 4 beds, one in each corner of the room. Dug out in front of you, there's a tunnel that is only maybe about 10 foot high by 5 foot wide. Only one of you can really squeeze through there at a time. Behind you, a staircase leading upward. And to the sides, left and right, other tunnels. And you already see the room is bare apart from these beds. You can already see that within the walls of these tunnels there are glints, reflections of precious and semi-precious metals, mostly blue in color at the moment. The beds are on small stilts, nothing underneath them. You notice that they have been well made, well kept, but otherwise empty. The ceiling above you is low, and the light that is the source of your vision here seems to be coming from the sconces, the many sconces that line these tunnels. But the water that's underneath your feet, the pitter-patter, is coming from above you. The ceiling is sort of ever so slowly dropping liquid onto the floor, which is a broken tile that's been overtaken and just worn over time with dust.
Is it actually water?
You can have a look if you want to. You can investigate it a bit more.
I would love to.
Investigation check, please.
This is my first natural one of the night.
Okay.
With a +1 for a 2.
Alrighty, so 2 in total. As you go down and you put your hand... It's what?
It's ice.
As you put your hand onto the liquid, you feel it's warm to the touch. Very viscous. So far, it seems like water. It's clear.
I'm gonna just touch it.
Okay, you touch it.
It's runny ice.
It splashes a little bit on your hands. It gets it a bit wet.
I'm gonna flick it at Thorum.
Right. Thorum, you sort of instinctively blink as this little bit of liquid taps you on the face and starts to crawl down your cheek.
I wipe it off. I heard that one. What was that?
As far as I can tell, it's just water.
Choose to believe you instead of investigating too closely.
Thorum, suddenly, you feel your skin dry as you wipe it off. And the investigation is complete. It seems like it's just water. Just from a crack in the ceiling.
Can he see out of space through the crack in the ceiling?
No.
I'm going to turn to our drow prisoner and say...
Drow friend.
Drow friend. Sorry. I'm going to turn to our drow friend and say... are there any traps before us that we should be aware of?
I can't see all of the traps. I don't think there's any in front of us. It best be cautious, though, because we are wily things, untrusting to all. It's very possible there is plenty to be concerned about.
Well, then it's a good thing that we should get him to lead us.
What
I agree.
What kind of traps do you set?
All manner of experiments. We have the ability to freeze people who step on a particular rune. Trapdoors are a must, of course. Then you have the poison darts, the chests that are actually not chests. You've got the upside down spells, just levitating spells. Ooh, there are just juicy ones. Rockfall, that is a good one as well.
I've also heard that drow are most dangerous in groups.
I disagree. Amara. Even that name just is delicious. But unfortunately, I can't devour you now. You're Char's friend, so we must be off.
Gotta keep your drow friend under control.
He is under control.
Yeah, well, I'm not liking this deliciousness talk.
Yeah, that prisoner
Yeah,
talk.
that's-
not friend
Oh, by the
talks.
way, Rook, this is Velsa.
Yes, I know.
He's a drow.
I can see this.
This is Valerie.
Hey, Rook, you're pretty good at finding like tracks and stuff, right?
Hey, Valsa, can we call you Elsa for short?
You may not.
We're friends.
I see not. And you can see a bit of that blood still pour out of his mouth. I see not why we must go to shortening our names. Velsa will do. And he takes a step towards a particular tunnel on the right. And he takes a couple more steps. They are short and they are deliberate. And as he does, you watch, you more hear first as a click echoes through the air. And as he turns back to you quickly with open eyes of shock, immediately I need, can I just ask who's wearing metal on their person? Everyone has like a sword and stuff, don't they?
Wearing a lot of-
I have a dagger.
Thorum, you're wearing your plate armor.
light armor. I got gold on me. I got rings on.
All right. Immediately, you are all needing to make me a strength saving throw. Thorum, you'll be doing that at disadvantage, please. As you feel this pull suddenly towards the wall in front of you.
Huh.
I actually don't think I have any metal on me at all. All of my daggers are inside of the bag of holding. That's the only metal things I would have, which I think only one of them was metal, which would have been the silver one.
Confusing.
The rest are obsidian, the others obsidian and crystal.
Okay, no problem.
That was 17.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Mine was
Would
a
it-
9.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got a 4.
Right. So, and also we've got the drow
I'm
making
standing
a
right
saving
next to
throw.
those guys. Can I help?
Michele,
Too much of a fling. Too quick of a reaction. Yes.
I have Osei's amulet in my pocket. Does
Yeah.
that count? Is that metal?
No, it's gold.
Oh, thank fuck for that.
I'm speaking of metal. The drow.
Ferrous metal.
Yeah, ferrous metal. Immediately, the drow gets flung and smashes into the side of the wall, just inside the entrance of this tunnel. Rook, you find your weapons are pulling you, and you also slam into the corner of the wall and are stuck. Amara the same. Amara, you got the dagger, hey?
Can I let go of it?
Just
Can I
make
throw it?
me a straight dexterity check for me.
I didn't even think of that.
Can I say, would it make a difference if I said I didn't actually have any metal weapons on me?
Don't you have
don't
armor?
actually?
No. I
What
don't have my axe anymore because I gave to King Bromnell. My bow's not metal because it's...
What's
and I've
your
got leather armor on.
what's the action? Is it? It's not studded leather.
Well, it's dragon scale.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I'd have buckles, I'm assuming, and things like that.
No, not strong enough. There's a particular strength here, so no, you're fine. And Amara, would you roll for your dex check?
15.
Yeah, cool.
Just the woman in the drow.
Okay, so
Cut the drow's head off.
all you see is the drow stuck onto the side of this wall as you see the wall itself turn into a silvery shimmer like a mirror but liquidy, and you watch him start to go into the wall, and he starts to scream.
Try and pull him out if I can get to him.
Yeah, sure. You race up to him. Would you roll me another strength check, please? Just a strength check this time.
15.
15, okay. You all see Thorum just race over and grab a hold, 2 holds, and just starts to pull him. You watch as this liquid metal just stretches, and within this wall you can see, what look to be the shapes of very small hands resisting, holding on to this metal that this drow is wearing, the saber, and pulling him back in. Though, just putting this roll onto here. Although, Thorum, you are winning, you haven't won yet, and you are pulling him out, but you see this resistance of this stretchy metal wall holding on tight.
I'm not concerned with hurting his arm. This is like tug of war. I'm trying to win 100. So that makes any difference.
That's cool. Make another strength check for me. What is everyone else doing? As you watch this tug of war.
Wow, I'm glad I got rid of that dagger.
Is it reflective?
It looks reflective, yes. You
But
can,
liquid.
yeah, like a thin sheen of metal metal liquid.
It was a 6.
A 6. Let me just roll a counter for you. Yeah, that's a natural 19. You're losing traction, and you're actually getting pulled into the wall a little bit as well, as your fingers touch this metal sheen, and it envelops it, and it just becomes a solid piece. It's as though when flesh touches it, it just solidifies.
Is the ground earth?
Yes.
Yep. Like loose earth or rock?
Rock.
And there's like water though, right? Or this what looks like water.
Small puddles of water, yep.
I'm gonna try and push the water towards Thorum and wrap it around his legs and freeze it.
Okay.
Using shape water.
Okay. As you all watch, this liquid just rises and just gets shunted over, and then it becomes this whirling wave of river. You can tell you probably got into all of it, which is a good 5 by 5 foot, all up once it's all together, and it just becomes ice in a second around Thorum. Thorum, the next strength throw you'll have is with advantage, as you just resist because of this ice now, which is really chilly on your feet. Make me another strength check with advantage, please.
I rolled a double, and that's another 15.
15?
Advantage too.
And with that, you just, with a yell, pull again, and the drow is shifted out of the metal piece of walkway, and gets flung onto you, and you just get the full weight of this drow on you, but you can't move. Your legs sort of bend slightly, but you right yourself, and you're sort of embraced with him.
Off and behind me.
Okay,
So, off immediately and behind me.
As a ricochet, and he sort of is flung onto the ground in a heap, and the metal wall simply becomes still again, and this piece on the ground, a trigger, clicks back into place. Click.
Wow. Don't step on that again.
Malestra was unaffected as well, like yourself, Rook. It didn't seem like she had anything on her, but she watched on like the rest of you, and apart from Gunnar, into this scene.
So can I just say something? I apologize. I misread my spell. Technically, I can't freeze it if there's a creature inside of it. So what I would have tried to do is create like a cylinder around Thorum, so you're not technically frozen in place. You just
Yes.
got like
This resistance.
cylinder
Yep.
of ice around you, so you can just climb out.
Yep, I see what you mean. Yep, that would still work.
I'm gonna step out of it.
Cool.
No, stay.
Thorum steps out of the ice cylinder. That was uncomfortable. And as you watch the drow gets up, that was one of the many experiments we have. I would definitely try and avoid them.
Are they all triggered by switches like this, or are they triggered by magic? Or
It can be both.
What is that? What is that stuff?
It is liquid metal. We had experimented with having an attraction between metals. It's a magnetic effect. It seemed to work, so we made it into a trap.
I want to see if I can collect it.
Okay, how do you want to try and do that?
I'm just looking through my backpack. I'm gonna quickly see if I can find anything that. Does anyone
Go on.
have anything that I could collect this in? Rook, do you have anything I could use?
Maybe a few small vials, but what do you expect to chip away with? It's not liquid anymore, is it?
Well, it's liquid. I think so.
If the trap is triggered? If you want to go through that ordeal again?
No, I don't. But it didn't attract me. I didn't have any metal on me. Do I understand that this wall has re-solidified?
Yes.
Oh,
But it hasn't turned back into this rock yet. So it
looks
was.
flat.
It does look flat. Yes.
Is there any like a rock or anything on the ground?
Yeah, there are plenty.
I'll just
throw it towards.
just throw it at it. Like, does it like ripple or?
It ripples slightly. You see, as it hits it, it does make a distinct ding sound and ricochet off, but then it does start to warble slowly, as though it is slowly becoming solidified, because it's a lot less viscous than it was.
I think it's able to be. Is there any still on the drow? Or did it come off him completely when he...
No, it came off him completely.
Okay. I will reach into the bag and I will take out the obsidian dagger?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, crystal dagger.
Oh, no.
And I will walk over to the wall and I'm going to try and, like, cut a piece off. I'm assuming it's going to become more and more viscous, right?
It is.
So I want to, kind of like cut a
It's
chunk off.
it's now a little bit like clay, and as you slice it in, make just a strength check for me as you just try and get the last vestiges of this piece out.
That's a 0.
A 0. You take the knife to you take the knife to the wall, and it has already turned solid.
Cut your finger off.
That's a shame. Put the dagger away.
Okay. The crystal dagger goes back into its spot, and Valsa says, "I Shall we continue, please? We have much journey to go.
Yeah, please.
Be more careful, though.
Well, I am probably not the best person to check on these things. I don't know where all of them are. Is someone better at detecting these things than I am?
You would know more than we would, though.
I know what to look for, but I can't get all of them. I didn't set these traps. I know.
Holy crap! Hold
What?
on. Sorry, we just need to thank Wisdom Saves, who is raiding with a party of 20 people right now.
Oh my gosh, Wizard Save! Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Hey everybody, welcome.
Hey.
We're doing some D&D down under. So, enjoy. Thank you. Welcome.
Why does that always happen to us right at the end of the session?
It's so true.
It's fine. We're about to fight a drow.
That's it. It's the time zone. So the drow Valsa says, if there is someone more keen-eyed than I, all I am saying is, in my current state, I might not be able to offer much assistance.
Rook,
I can help, I guess,
or I guess Gunnar can help.
unless one of you want to. Maybe just help me. Salsa. Just call it salsa. Valsa. Just give me, some help. So I can look around and I might have some type of advantage.
I will help, yes. But it is not guaranteed, like I said, that the traps that are wrought and embedded into stone and ground and ceiling will be all caught. But will you walk with me then?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So Gunnar and Valsa, you both start walking ahead down the tunnel, and you can see through this ridiculously tight hole in the wall where you're having trouble, even in your small form, Gunnar, going side to side with Valsa as he continues to feel for any abnormalities in the rock.
I'm just gonna be like, "Is that a trap?"
It is not, and he sort of feels around where you point, and you can see that there's small shapes in the rock of this beautiful, beautiful deep blue sapphire, and there are lines of this precious metal, veins of them that stick out from the walls, untouched by hundreds of years of mining. Mostly for fashion and a tell of wealth from the dwarves, not necessarily needed, but just as a pride, as a moment of pride, they left it in there. And you continue your way down, and only about another 2 minutes pass before he stops you, Gunnar, and looks around and says, Wait. Jump over this. And he takes 2 strides and leaps over what just looks to be ground in front of you that leads in a straight line towards a shift to the right out of sight that this tunnel leads. And he turns over. Actually, I will roll an athletics check for him. Yeah, that was heaps. Yeah, that's a natural 16 plus his dex. And he leaps over this just space that just seems like normal rock. And he turns and says, "Do the same and avoid the trap, please."
Can I use my mage hand to feel the surface, just brush it across the surface of the ground?
Sure. As the mage hand emerges, this ethereal piece of appendage, it goes down and below the rock, and as it shifts back and forth, you see that it does indeed show that there's something beneath the rock, further and further down, but you can't see all the way. And it goes on for about 10 feet.
Where are the others?
It's sort of 10 feet long. The others are on your side.
Where I can, I'm going to. I imagine myself being in the middle of the party, and where I can, I would like to shadow jump. So just like disappear and reappear, but never in front of Salsa and Gunner.
Too late, it's salsa now.
So Velsa is on the
It's cat.
Velsa is on the other side of this gap now in this tunnel. And the shadows are few and far between in this small space. The sconces continue, so you're having a lot of trouble doing any shadow jumping here, Amara.
Yeah, I'll just try where I can.
Okay.
Like,
Well, in front of you is this gap, and
What? 10 feet.
10 feet.
Can't jump this.
you can't?
No. This thing is over twice as long as I am tall.
Can you disguise yourself as someone taller?
That's just an illusion.
Oh, right. Never mind. I don't know how magic works. I might be able to jump it.
Perhaps Rook and I could throw you.
Can't you fly? I've seen you do this before.
That's true.
I mean, I could fly, but so I guess that's the only way.
We could throw you.
I would offer for you to jump on my back, but I feel like we might both hurt ourselves if I do that.
We could respectfully throw you.
Respectfully.
I'll catch you.
Yes.
Oh. Actually, if I do that, Valsa he will become his normal self.
Why?
Because my ability to concentrate on more than one spell at a time is limited to one spell at a time.
It's the only option. We've got to throw him.
Can I make a perception check to see if there's anything just to get him across?
Yeah, make a perception check for
Any
me.
loose wood, anything that we can just bridge the gap with?
Mm-hmm. Sure, let's bridge the gap.
What about a rope?
No, Michele's face looks too amused. This is not a good idea.
It is a gap, isn't it? It's not.
You look down and you just see solid ground, but you are being warned that there is something amiss here.
19. Oh, sorry, perception 20.
20. Looking around, having a quick glance, the only real chance that you can see is if you climbed across it, using the wall as a climbing frame, because there are small bits of rock that are jutting out, but it is they are few and far between, so you can certainly give that a try.
Is there a sconson that's close by as well that I can hold on to?
There isn't between this 10 foot by 10 foot.
Oh, that wouldn't be necessary anywhere that's close by.
Yeah, you do have one. Yep, you can grab one off the wall.
Yeah. Tie yourself to this. I'll tie you to me, and I'll hold on to this, and you can climb across.
You don't want to throw it?
Maybe, do we all have more than one rope?
I have
Yes,
50
I have some rope. Yeah, 50 feet of rope.
We could make a bridge. I'll hold on to the top and walk along the bottom.
Oh my god, could we just throw you then?
Well, I would rather you not throw me.
I can jump. I can use if you. I can jump over first. If you need to throw me a rope, then that's fine. But if you need to throw me gunner, you can also throw me gunner. Would you like me to jump?
Yes, I think either way, we need you to be on the other side.
I'm going to get as close to this 10 feet we're being warned about without obviously bridging it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stand there for a moment, close my eyes, channel all of my key energy for Step of the Wind, which doubles my jump distance. And I'm going to jump over the 10 feet.
You all feel this sudden surge as Amara simply, from standing, almost just takes 1 foot into the air and with the other leaps and like an antelope would just leap over the air gracefully.
Graceful.
This graceful leap, and this wind buffets her and buffets you all from nowhere, and it pushes Amara over easily to the other side, landing quite...
I want to land like really superhero style landing, like just...
Make a performance check. Make a performance check for me.
Oh no! A natural 20.
It's like the third one of the night.
Yes!
Far out. With one hand on the ground, the other one on the wall, Amara is in a pose that would just intimidate the worst of enemies.
It's the coolest you've ever seen me.
Oh,
And
did
so-
you jump? I missed it.
So that's 2 over.
Wait, throw gunner to me.
I'm going to hand Gunner some rope and say, 50 feet of rope and say, all right,
I'll
you
snake.
really don't want to be thrown.
I'll snake the rope over using my telekinesis and get Amara to hold on to one end.
Alright, Amara, you see this rope in midair just shake towards you slowly, and you do catch it.
Valsa, can you hold on as well?
Of course I can. And he holds on as well.
Okay. It's gonna be bad.
Would you prefer to run and jump? See if you can make it yourself.
No. I'm gonna climb up. Arms, legs. I'm gonna.
Alrighty. Just
Am I
make me
holding?
a straight dexterity
Sorry.
check for me, please.
Dexterity.
Check, yeah.
Oh no! Oh no!
3.
Gunner, is it a natural one?
A 3?
There's a
Alright.
2. Plus 1.
Oh no! Oh
You-
no!
You get a good grip on the hands. The feet is where you're having a bit of trouble. They're sort of dangling, and as you start to, your arms sort of instinctively start to panically make their way across, but very quickly your feet slip off, and you're now, as the weight of your lower body just flung itself off the rope, your hands slipped, and you all watch as Gunner starts to fall, and you fall, and you all watch as the ground disappears as Gunner falls through the earth.
Can we try
for the token?
We're gonna leave it there for tonight, guys.
Ah,
No!
Hang on.
No!
Yeah.
No!
Yeah.
Gunner's dead. I'm calling it now.
He's attached to the rope, isn't he?
No. No.
So everybody,
Why?
we love rewatching episodes, so that's exactly what Rook has volunteered to do.
Yeah.
if only we had a diamond that could revive me.
Oh, I know. 600 gold pieces worth of diamond.
We might have a diamond.
Yeah. We have to come get you out of the pit first.
Within a minute.
Would a diamond ring do?
Could be. Hey, everybody, go on.
Hey. I'm sure
Hey.
you were about to say this, so I probably took it away from you.
There go.
But we have a giveaway going on Twitter at the moment. So follow us at FATES on Twitter. We're giving away, for our 1,000 follower giveaway, we're giving away a set of Kraken dice. It's a 14-piece set with 2 Titan D20s. They're 55mm D20s. The set is called Dark Matter. It is a sold-out set. You cannot get this anymore. We are also giving away a dice box with a class of your choice etched onto the front of it, and a dragon baggin to also store your dice. All of this is worth like a ridiculous amount of money. We want to thank Meeples and Dragons for graciously being our #1 fans and supporters, but also selling and providing fantastic products that we can give away to you guys. The way to enter this giveaway: follow, retweet, like the tweet, and comment tonight's code word, which was
Drow.
Otherwise, that's the Twitter.
Look, if thanks so much for staying along. Please rewatch it if you want to catch up on some of our episodes. They're on YouTube now. The last couple are on Twitch. Enjoy, and hopefully we see you back here. That would be amazing.
And thank you, Pokemon, for just gifting a subscription to Weird Judge.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much, Monkey-Man.
Everlasting, yeah.
That's
Thank you.
amazing, and I love that nickname, Weird Judge. That's amazing.
Thank you for everyone who came over from the raid as well. I know that it was a bit late, but I hope you enjoyed what you saw.
Special shout out to @ClassicNile, who followed us on Twitch purely based off the fact that you were giving them Snape vibes.
What?
I see.
Code word is drow.
Drow.
Oh, the
yeah.
drow was giving them Snape vibes.
I love it. Look, I anything to help, because Snape is the bomb. Yeah, cool. Okay, so we got everything out of the way there. Please enter our competition. Hopefully you win, and hopefully we see you next week. But from us, have a wonderful evening, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Ciao.